Oh boy, I tried to turn it in time, but I think I did it so we didn't have to get the twisted upside down thing. Well, now, 12 people live. All right, I keep looking at my ashtray. Interesting links we've got here today. I have the chat on, and I was going to repeat the stuff from yesterday's main channel, but I'm going to throw this in because this is more important, and we're going to hit it here. I know I posted over there the Never Alone with Christ videos, and he's a dude that is kind of, what do we want to say? Uh, embedded, embedded with that whole Antifa mess out there in Portland, and he's been traveling around into Idaho and Colorado, and he did an incredible video, and I need to share it with you. He found on Twitter a clip of an interview with our boy Fauci. And Fauci is saying in this clip that the PCR test, anything over 35, what is it, cycles, is essentially meaningless, right? False positives out the wazoo. Has to be under 35. What's the word he uses? He says viral, not replications, but the implication is it's the viral's ability to replicate, right? It's not live virus there. So this is amazing. And then I watched the link on Never Alone, right? So I posted. I said, man, this is huge. So I posted a comment. I said, do you have the link to this Twitter thing? So we posted that, and then the guy's channel. So I'm giving you the first is the vitamin D study, but we'll hit that in a second, which is all very impressive. That's out of Britain, actually reported out of Britain, done in Spain. But Never Alone is the PCR test. He discusses that and some other things. It's excellent. You should watch that. And then the Fauci interview on the PCR testing, I grabbed the full interview. Then I have the Twitter link to the guy's page, which has the 50-second clip, less than a minute. And then under that is also the full interview on Twitter. So you'll see that. If you're a tweeter, you need to tweet this. This thing should be out there. And I grabbed the full video for you on YouTube. Now I'm thinking this should probably be downloaded, and because I'm surprised that hasn't disappeared, but there are a bunch of views on it, like 40,000, not 400,000. But it's pretty amazing. So he says 35 cycles, anything more than that is essentially useless. And it's very frustrating for doctors, and it's very frustrating for patients, really. But it benefits states because it shows a positive and they get paid for their COVID case. Imagine that. What Never Alone says, and it's a great point, and I think we should all consider this, is check with your county health department and say, how many cycles on the PCR tests are being used? Ooh, what an excellent question. And then maybe send them the link and say why. Anything over 35 are false positives. Very interesting. This kind of thing, I put it in the comment. I said, this is huge. This is huge. And I think this could change the wave of bullshit. And I said it from day one. Question the tests, right? Where are those excellent DWI trial lawyers coming out and saying, hey, I'm going to challenge the tests? Where's the maintenance records? Where's the expert who calibrated the machine? Where's the training of the person who read the test? You know what I mean? Go crazy on it. Unbelievable. So, important stuff. Now let me jump back to the vitamin D study on the top. This popped up, and it's interesting because I have to switch channels, so I have different stuff now on two channels. So on the other channel, which some of you guys might not have the link, most probably do. So what I should do is go back and forth and copy the link from that last show I did to here. So everybody here can be there. But I think we have more people there. So what we need to do is make sure they're aware of this. If they can follow that link, that's part of that IQ test, right? Got to read between the lines. I'll try and make it more explicit. Please follow this link to see further discussion on topic. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. Right. Project Hammer. I thought that said Protect Hammer. Anyway, let me do the vitamin D study. this is cool. It's a good doctor. And if you read the comments, people have been following his advice for a while. I'm trying to think when this was. This wasn't like this week. This was in September, I believe. And it was actually a clinical trial done in Spain with COVID positive people in the hospital. People were coming in, and they had it was clinical, so it was a control group. And they had some not and some with. The with vitamin D, and he explains it in detail, and it's very interesting. But the results were pretty tremendous. And it wasn't just vitamin D, which I thought, wow, that's amazing. No, it was vitamin D and HCQ and an antibiotic, okay? But the results were dramatically reduced of people that were sick that had to get switched to the ICU. Like, out of 50 people, they had 50 in one group and 26 in the other. 50 got the vitamin D, 26 didn't. Out of the 50, I think 2% went to the ICU, all survived. So 2% is, out of 50, it was one person, right? Because double that's two. It was 2%, low. Next was the other group where you had 13 people, so 50% went into ICU, I believe, okay? So it was something. Hey there, Deborah. So long and short is it was pretty miraculous. Now, it wasn't a massive dose every day. It was like 500, what was it, micrograms, 537 or so on the first day. And then I think they cut that in half to 250 micrograms, or milligrams, I'm sorry, milligrams. So that's a lot more than micrograms, right? On day one, then on day 3, and then on day 5 or 7. So it wasn't like a massive dose every day, but he actually explains how the vitamin D is metabolized. So they gave something that was, what is he calling it? Analogous to? No. But it's a fascinating piece, worth listening to. It's very instructive. But really good stuff. So it takes about a week if you take large doses of vitamin D or go and hang out in the sun for it to kick in. So obviously, if you know you're going to get sick next week, dose up on vitamin D this week. So I don't know, if you get a blood test, I suppose you could test your vitamin D levels and know where you're at. And if you just keep them elevated, you're probably good. But it's an excellent medical, scientific, biochemical study, right? Good stuff. Then the next is Never Alone, which is Fauci and the discussion on the PCR test. And he did something before that, but this thing just grabbed my attention. I was like, wow. And then I put in the YouTube link to the full interview with Fauci. This was just a clip. And then the guy's Twitter that has both on there. Okay? That's what I've got for you now, campers. Right? Good. Jade Rose, the doc takes the vitamin Ds. And what levels are you? He's saying, I think 42% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. Now, deficient is pretty severe. That's not low. That's deficient. That's very low, right? Anyway, that's a scoop. All right, campers, I will throw in the Patreon account, the PayPal link, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to handle these two channels because I'm going to go nuts trying to streamline work. I do want to tell you I had a 2-hour chat with Mikey last night from Space Shot 76. Drove me crazy. I'm like, dude, I haven't read the case. He's part of the case. That's up for oral argument tomorrow, 9 o'clock Pacific, which puts us around noon on the East Coast. So I said, okay, dude, I was going to read the case. Now you jerked me for 2 hours, and I'm not reading the case because it was late. You know, I always have these late night chats. I said, hey, you want to come on the channel and we'll discuss what's going on? We don't have to show your smiling face. He said, yeah, he said, I can. He said, but I would be careful because people in that suit who are going on other channels, those channels are getting shot down too. Like, all right, man, we'll pass. But he did send me a link that was, we'll call it an unlisted link to the discussion of their attorney with, I guess it's Zach Voorhees is the guy who did the main work on this. He set up a GoFundMe, found these people, and it was a good interview. He put it up. I put the comment in there, right, because there were only like 8 comments, about 500 views, and it was, you know, inside baseball people. And I said, and I'll ask him if I can share that link. So if I can, I'll put it up so you can listen to her. But My comment was, when did the WHO take an oath to uphold the Constitution? That is very important. Hopefully, she can connect those dots and say, ooh, good argument. Maybe I'll reach out to her personally, but I don't know what we've got, between now and tomorrow. Not happening. She seems to have a good handle on it. Let's see which way it plays. Let me think, what other exciting things? Oh, I got most of my stuff caught up on. I was making great yardage, all these loose ends. Happy November 1st. Happy clock change day. And I'll let you go at that. And yeah, I'm tired. Don't you always get tired when they push the clocks back? And somebody got confused. They were saying spring back, fall ahead. No, you spring ahead and you fall back. All right, good. Who's this JD Rose? What do you hate? Then go away. Any questions, thoughts, concerns, campers? Speak to me. RDA, recommended daily. No, that's nonsense. Hondo, howdy. Project Hammer. Right. Howdy, Mr. Greg. You're accusing me of ignoring you, man. When I see your comments, I always pop your comments, man. Come on. Deborah, Hammer, who are recommending 50 cycles. Really? Do you have that? Put that in the comments. I'd love to see that. 35 is Fauci, and it's less than that because otherwise everybody's a positive. And the WHO is also not doing, according to this doctor, this vitamin D study, this guy is great. He says, how come the World Health Organization is not doing clinical studies on vitamin D? Well, the answer is obvious. They're not interested in maintaining health. They're interested in maintaining a political spin that is inflicting fear and terror to manipulate both a dose of vaccines, right? Enrich their pharmaceutical industry and inject, what shall we say, tracking devices. Now, on the other channel, I did a discussion about the letter. What's his name? Vigano or Vigamo, who was the Archbishop. I will find that and put that in here. I found not only that letter I put up there yesterday. In fact, maybe I'll do this whole thing for you guys too, but you can hit both channels. I found an audio interview. One of our campers, Beth, she's in Illinois, she's a registered nurse, found an audio interview of Archbishop Vigano, or is it Vigano or Vigamo? I forgot, I have it written over there. Speaking, and it's two parts, but part two, I assume he's in Italy, but he's evidently in hiding. And he wrote the letter to Trump, and he laid out how this whole thing is being used as a political takeover. Now, he couches it in terms of religious Catholic spin that is saying, okay, you have the children of darkness and the children of light. I would agree with that. However, he has this nailed, and he lays it out brilliantly. So I'm going to give you part two of the interview so you can check it out. And if you want to hear part one, which goes through his credentials, you can do that. But right from the beginning, it's a little tedious because I think he's talking on the speakerphone, so it's not great audio. He's got a bit of an accent, but his English is very precise. The audio is on the speakerphone, which is annoying. However, the first few minutes of this thing, man, he hammers it. That's why I'm giving you part two. And he's got the whole deal laid out. Now, I still haven't read the letter to Trump because I haven't done much reading because I've been yapping. But the long and short is, if he told this to Trump, that's good. Wonder if Trump got the letter. It was an open letter to Trump. So was it like, personal and confidential? Have his handlers open it or his staff. All right, I'll let you go on that, guys. Thanks a lot. If you like the thinking, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. And as they say, subscribe. And continue to support the channel. We need and appreciate your assistance and support. Thank you, campers. Back at you soon. I'm going to go to the other channel in a couple minutes and chat about this. And I got a whole nother stuff. And I got to give you Vigamo's interview. So give me a second and I'll post that link here in the show notes. It's a very interesting piece. But the vitamin D study, never alone with Christ, and the PCR test. I figure this is good Sunday stuff, right? Outstanding. This is important stuff he put up, and this is a game changer. If you like it and think it is so, please retweet. Thank you, campers. Bye for now.